We're here with Athletic Director Nick Rule, as well as our new women's golf coach, Victoria Grasso. I wanted to officially introduce her to and you to Statesman Nation, etc. We're going to hand it over to Nick here and talk about just the background, a little bit of how we came to this decision and all that, and then we'll have a nice Q&A with Coach Grasso. So.
Yeah, no, we're really excited to have Coach leading this program into the future, a high-achieving program. And, you know, anytime that we go through a coaching change, you always want to take a look at, okay, where's the program at now? Where do we want it to be? And then how do we get there? And, you know, where this program's at now is it's a very high-achieving program. You know, 60% of the program are upperclassmen. And we've known for several years that these 2 years were going to be very successful years for the women's golf program. And then it's, you go, so how do we sustain that, right? That's one thing. You know, how do we sustain that and grow it, which has been done very well in the last few years. And the next part is like looking forward, what's the future? And so when you have 60% of your team as upperclassmen, and you know, and 50% of that is our seniors. You know, you need someone with a vision and work ethic and the ability to see, hey, how can I take this from here to here? And someone that understands who they are as a leader, understanding self-leadership, and then understanding, okay, have a nice vision for what the plan is going forward. So as we had those conversations and we started talking to Coach Grasso about that, it became very clear that the person to lead the program into the future was right in front of us. And Victoria and I met actually a over 2 years ago when I was coaching the women's golf team. And you know, we had come up with an agreement with her to be the graduate assistant. And you know, when you're a coach and you're head coach of a program, you always have to think. That makes her very attractive to be able to be a coach. She's got a lot of things checked off at a young age to be able to develop that resume, and you know, it just became very clear that we didn't need to do an external search. We had our next head coach right in front of us, and so we're excited to formally, and she's been on the job really the last 3 weeks and has done an incredible job with our girls, and had some team sessions with them, and they're just amped up and ready to go, and she's got them all bought in. So it's an exciting time. Number 14 ranked team in the country, which is we're very underrated. We should be a lot higher than that. This is definitely a top 10 team, and so the future is bright this year, and the future going forward is really bright as well, and she's got a great vision for recruiting. So we're excited to have her be our
So I know you don't want to brag on yourself, but you know, and tell us a little bit about where you've come from.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the Des Moines area, right in Ankeny, so I just kind of played locally golf in Iowa, and then from there I went on, played collegiately at the University of South Dakota, got to play with a bunch of different people, meet, you know, all kinds of coaches and things like that. It was a really good experience. And then some of the connections that I made there kind of allowed me to work in different facets in the golf industry, and make some connections that have really made a strong impression, and have allowed me to learn quite a bit. So then I ended up meeting with Nick about the graduate assistant position, and I've been here ever since.
Right. And then it just you know, worked out that, I mean, again, congratulations, Coach Pearson, on you know, his own promotion within Musco, but that opened up a door. And like Nick said, why look anywhere else when we've got a great successor right here? So talk about the transition a little bit. You know, obviously you've been with the team, so it's not you know, a huge change for them. They know more or less what you're bringing to the table, but I'm sure you probably did a few things like, here, no, I'm going to put my own stamp on this. So talk about the transition a little bit here in the past 60 days or so.
Yeah. You know, honestly, we're not trying to change too much. A lot of what's drawn me to this program is the culture. You know, we really have a family-oriented team. golf is traditionally more individualistic. So that's something that we're really going to continue to do. But then kind of going forward, we're looking to build that even more so. We have a really, really talented team, but we also have a lot of depth on our team. It's not just the top 5, it's all 13 girls. So we're looking to continue to develop our players by, going to different tournaments and challenging ourselves. Maybe, doing some stuff that we may not have done before, and kind of seeing what's out there. Really providing an environment where no one's really afraid to fail, no matter what. Everybody's still playing, so that's something that's really helpful. But if everyone can step out of their comfort zone, that's kind of our main goal, to see what we have and how to take it to the next level.
Right, definitely. You kind of already alluded to the vision that you have here, so you already answered part of this question, but let's, I guess, gear it in a different direction, talking about the recruiting side. I mean, now, again, not really sure what your background is there, but talk about, I guess, what you are looking for in a future statesman.
So obviously we're looking for talented golfers, but it's not just that. We don't want a team full of just talented golfers. We want people that are going to bring a lot to not just the university, but also, the community, and then when they go out beyond William Penn. So we're looking for girls that, will excel in the classroom, are hardworking. They don't necessarily have to have all the talent to begin with, but that they're willing to try new things and go out and improve themselves in every area, be a better person, better golfer, and the best they can be in the classroom.
Definitely. As you also alluded to, very talented team right now, very senior laden team right now, which is exciting going forward for the rest of the rest part of this year. But knowing that there's going to be some big shoes to fill, so right away knowing that there's going to be a recruiting class. This next recruiting class is going to be huge. So I'm sure you're already selling your current recruits on that. Like, you can be a big part of this. It's almost, I don't want to say starting over, because it's not that. I mean, we're definitely just a reloading, program here. But how are you selling them right now on this? Is you can continue, at this level. This is we want you to fill in these shoes.
Yeah, I mean, often when you have such a big senior class, you go through a little bit of a building period. That's something that we're really not looking to do. We're looking to not miss a step, and just continue to go. I mean, obviously with the team that we'll still have, we still will have a really strong team. But we're talking to quite a few really, really talented young ladies, and I am completely confident that they'll be able to come in right away and play, and we'll be fine. We'll be right where we need to be.
With your Iowa connection, how much are you leaning on, like, let's see if we can steal a couple more Iowa kids? I mean, obviously Iowa's not the huge breeding ground of talented golfers and really thick, I guess, depth in so many schools that are trying to get that talent to stay here. But, I mean, are you leaning towards, here, let's see if we can get some more Iowa kids, or am I just open to anything?
Honestly, we're open to anything, just because William Penn is so diverse, and that's something that we really celebrate with our culture. It's awesome to have, a small college atmosphere where you have a ton of different people that don't look and think like you.
Right.
So, we will look around us, but at the same time, we're looking everywhere. Not just within the States, but also internationally. So we're talking to people from all over the place.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see what we get.
Yeah. Changing direction a little bit here. Even though you've been in the program for a couple of years, but in the graduate assistant role, so maybe again things just looking a little bit differently, and then the players looking at you differently for the last 2 years. Now in a new role, how much are you relying on your seniors to step in and continue and really extend their leadership roles?
Oh, definitely. We have so many leaders on this team, and it's not just our upperclassmen, but also we have a lot of underclassmen that have a lot of really strong leadership skills. So it's kind of a time for everyone to just step up and hold each other accountable, do the right things.
Definitely. Nick, I'm going to throw it over to you for a second. Kind of talked in the past about that. You've been the leader of this program, and you still have a lot of connection to it. You want to continue watching it grow and succeed more than probably any other because of your connection to it. I know you've also said that Victoria, you have all the confidence in her, but being a young coach in her first opportunity, that you're going to have a bit of a mentorship program here.
Anytime, one thing that we've done in the last few years is that anytime we bring in a new coach, we have another coach that's a mentor to them. In this case, Victoria and I worked so well together. It's just like it made sense for me to be her mentor.
Right.
And I tell you what, the program hasn't missed a step in the last 3.5 weeks with Victoria. In fact, she's done a lot, brought on a lot of really quick, great ideas that have helped move things forward. Which any day you want to get 1% better every single day. And so, there's a lot of connections to the program and everything, and it's a very special group. But she's a part of that, and with that being said, because of the connections I've had to the program in the past, I think there's even more pressure. And I've sat in Starbucks and at dinners with these families, with a lot of these girls' families over trying to convince them to come to William Penn, and so there was actually an enhanced sense of pressure that I felt in getting the right person in place. And so, when you think, okay, do we go outside? Do we go outside? And he just kept saying, no. I mean, Victoria's vision, Victoria's effort. I mean, I've seen the way she works. She's a hard worker. When it comes to recruiting, it's like you have to work. It's building relationships. And then I think the other defining thing to that was, spending some time when we knew that this transition was probably going to have to take place. I spent a little bit more time around the team. And she may not know this, but I was watching the way she interacted with the players. And I didn't tell her that beforehand. And I wanted to see, what her interactions were. Did they trust her? And it was very clear, one, that they trust her. It was very clear they were looking to her for, okay, what can we do next? And she was very positive in the way she reinforced things. And, one thing that we believe in the power of positive leadership, but, do we live it? Do we talk about it? Is that something we're very intentional about every single day? And that is something that she's very intentional about every single day. And so, the next few months, I'm here for her to help. I'm here to help her whenever she needs my help. But she is the head women's golf coach, and that's been made very clear to the program, to everyone in the program. And I'm here to help her, and I'm her mentor to help her through. And we've had we meet a few times a week, and there's been great meetings. And some of the things she's done already has been awesome. I think when we get to the point to where the program releases their schedule, you'll see some pretty cool enhancements to that schedule. And just in the last 3 weeks, I think she's had 3 or 4 student athletes already visiting campus. That's pretty impressive stuff. So, excited about the future. But again, there was a lot of pressure in this decision just because I know everyone's family here. And when you get a mother and father or a parent or a guardian to say, yes, I'm going to entrust my child to come out and be at this university and play under you, that's a great responsibility. And so, that gives me even more confidence that we made the right choice because, I don't worry about these girls because we have her leading the charge. And so it's going to be an exciting season. And it's just, and then a fresh vision, right? One thing I've talked a lot about is that, programs go through generations, right? And we were really in the 3rd, 4th generation of this program. That next generation needs some energy, a new vision, a young vision, and she's got all of that. She's the right leader for this program. There's no one on this campus that's a better position to lead this program, and no one in the country that's better to lead this program than Victoria. And so we're excited about it. I could talk all day about how the things I think she's going to do. And we have opportunities in front of us. We have challenges in front of us, but every program does too. And it's just how you handle those. And she handles it with a level of grace that I think is going to build a lot of confidence.
Definitely. All right, Coach. Any final words, I guess, looking forward here? Your excitement about just being in the position you are to lead these young women.
No, I mean honestly, we're just really excited, not just for the spring, but going forward with everybody.
There you go. All right. Well, Coach Victoria Grasso, our new women's golf coach here at William Penn. going right into the off season, mid seasons, what Nick always likes to
mid-season,
yes, refer to it as. So going into the mid season, a lot of working out and hitting off the turf. But when March, February rolls around and the weather turns, I expect to see a lot of the ladies out there and shooting low scores. So best of luck, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.